The Ukraine war is known as the world's first drone war, and the footage says it all. Drones zipping over trenches, quadcopters dropping grenades, explosives flying straight into tank hatches. Military analysts called it a turning point, a new era of warfare. Ukraine was improvising with consumer drones. It cut deals with European suppliers, but one question lingered. Where was Russia getting its drones? A new investigation has just dropped the answer. It is China. Behind this drone surge is a company called Aerohit, a relatively obscure Russian company, but now it churns out thousands of first-person view drones every month. And reports point to a collaboration with a Chinese company, a company called Autel Robotics. This is a Chinese civilian drone manufacturer. Autel says it stopped selling to Russia in 2022. Yet internal documents suggest otherwise. Russian engineers were still talking to Autel staff into 2025. Is this illegal under sanctions? Yes, it is. But enforcement is tricky, especially because of intermediaries. Some components come through Malaysia, some come through Dubai, others via shell companies based in Kazakhstan or Kyrgyzstan. But despite restrictions, Chinese companies continue selling parts. And it is not just the war in Ukraine. Another report suggests that Chinese weapons are showing up in Tehran. Iran fought a 12-day war with Israel last month. It was left with a depleted arsenal. So Beijing is filling that gap now. It is sending surface-to-air missile batteries to Tehran. These are not cutting-edge defense systems, but they don't need to be. For Iran, the goal is to patch up its air defenses, and China is helping in that process. How is Iran paying for it? Well, reports suggest it is selling oil in exchange for weapons. So Ukraine and Iran. Chinese weapons have shown up in two war zones. But if you zoom out, you will realize that they're almost everywhere. In Gaza, Chinese anti-tank missiles were spotted. In Syria and Libya, Chinese-made anti-aircraft weapons were seen with rebel groups. In Africa, you'll find Chinese hardware in Chad and Sudan. In Myanmar, both the junta and the rebels use Chinese rifles. So in some conflicts, China is supplying both sides. And how do they get away with it? Through plausible deniability. Officially, Beijing insists on a strict policy of non-interference, but its defense exporters follow a simpler rule. If you pay us, we will deliver. And that appeals to authoritarian regimes and to cash-strapped governments. Most of these deliveries are discreet, either via third-party dealers or shell companies. But here's a million-dollar question. Are these weapons any good? That depends on who you ask. China often provides what it calls export variants. These are less advanced versions of its main weapons. They're cheap and abundant. But reliability is a common complaint. There have been issues with these Chinese weapons. Nigerian troops have seen their Chinese tanks break down. In some cases, clients have gone back to the Russians or even the West. But the arms race is not just about firepower, it is also about access. And China is quick at providing that. On paper, China is the fourth largest arms exporter in the world, fourth after the US, Russia, and France. Beijing may claim that it stays out of wars, but its weapons keep showing up in all of them. So China may not be fighting on the front lines, but in some cases, it is arming both sides. And for China, that is the real strategy. Stay clean on paper, get others to dirty their hands. It's time the world wakes up to this.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka-charge mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Skali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trilhão ijong mo.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.